Setting the culture. Setting the right culture is vital if we want a loving community that draws people to God. I'd like to share a story with you of what not to do. A long time ago, I was asked out to lunch with a group of church ladies and then told to sit on a table all by myself while 20 of them sat giggling amongst themselves. It was unintentional, but it still left its mark on me. I never wanted someone to feel that lack of value. But that incident stood me in good stead for when I started ministering at playgroups and women's groups, because I now knew what the outsider felt like. And this event made me more compassionate so that I would be more intentional about becoming welcoming with other people. So here are 4 keys to think about when setting a welcoming culture in your outreach ministry. Firstly, your attitude. Are you in this ministry because of an obligation, or are you truly passionate about it? A bad attitude is like a flat tire and it won't take you anywhere. So if you need some air, that's okay. Why not ask God for some encouragement? Filled with God, He can lift you to new heights and the places you will go. Also, try not to look at people and make rash judgments within 5 seconds of meeting them. Even God said that no person should be accused without 2 witnesses. What makes us think that judgments based on a single snapshot is accurate? So if parents come in disheveled and with kids that are unruly, we could assume they're bad parents, or we could look beyond that and see that they're overwhelmed and just love that person. Because when we assume, we make an ass out of you and me. Secondly, your team. Make sure there are no square pegs in round holes. That means to empower your friendliest team members to meet the new people. Have them on the front door or your rego desk. It is a tad unwelcoming having someone who's been baptised in lemon juice greeting the newcomers. And make sure your team is on the same train, the one heading to the station, connecting people to Jesus. There is a similar train that goes to the station Clicky Club. Make sure your team don't get on that one. There may be some people from your church who want to get on board for just the short trip. That's fantastic. The more heading in the same direction, the more the momentum builds. They could be gifted at finance, gardening, handyman, musical, counsellors, relationship issues, craft, or dance people. So if your community ever end up coming to church, they'll see loads of family faces. And that's such a great way for them to get a sense that they belong. Thirdly, the community. Some people can be hard to love. It's like hugging a porcupine. But rather than retreat like a turtle, with God's help, He can give us a Teflon coating so we can hug without getting hurt. Because this is the moment to shine. It is super easy to love those that love us, but only with God's help can we love the unlovable. I remember one lady walking into the playgroup that had gone 10 rounds with self-respect and lost. She didn't make eye contact, she had hunched shoulders, and she sat by herself. I became friends with her and she told me how she had persisted for 2 months attending a secular playgroup where not one mother talked to her. How could that happen? And how could she continually go back to be treated like that? I couldn't get my head around it. Then there may be some other people that are disrupting the community by their behaviour or language. You may need to speak to that person, but I've got a rule of thumb to go by. Clarify before confronting. Give an opportunity for someone to explain their intentions before launching your exocet missile. Quite possibly it was all a misunderstanding and the Cuban Missile Crisis was averted. Remember, you get what you set. If you accept behaviour of parents coming in and draining everyone by being on their phone and not supervising their children, then you'll have the lovely mothers and carers exiting the building like it's on fire. Fourthly, your space. Welcome them into your space like it's your home. Make them feel welcome like you would in your own place. Make sure the place is clean, bright and uncluttered. But just remember, if your room is lacking the sparkle, as long as you've got the sparkle, people will overlook conditions that are out of your control. So that wraps up this session on setting culture. There's lots I haven't covered. Why not discuss with your team what else you could do to make your place more welcoming? Then join me in the next video on why we mission.